Hi everybody, it's David from BitFlip Games here to show you what's new in Minion Master this week. The first thing we have is a bunch of new levels and updated levels. Here we have the Dueling Arena. This is one of our older levels, and you can see we've made some changes to it based on the new movement restrictions that we've been putting in over the last few weeks. And so here in the center area, you can see there's now a ring of forest tiles. And those cost more movement than the plains tiles. It used to be all plains right there. So now when you're moving towards the middle of the board, you go from, these are hills to plains to forest to hills and then lava again. And so that means it's going to cost more movement to get across the board. We've also added some actual elevation in here. So you can see you have to go up to get to the hills, and then if you're a flying creature, up again to get over the lava. And then that will again cost you more movement to get from one side of the board to the other. We also have these peninsulas over on the side, which we've always had, but now we have a staircase up to them and some different tile types around the edge of the staircase. So it takes longer to get over there. And also once you're up here, you have enough elevation for your ranged minions to get a nice ranged bonus. So if you're up on this top tile and shooting at somebody down here, I believe you actually get +2 range bonus. So that's quite nice. The other things we have been doing are lots of little bug fixes and polish pieces. You'll notice the Frenzy card right here says it can only be applied once. And that was not necessarily true, or that was not exactly how it was working. So I can go ahead and spawn some kobolds, and I'll frenzy them up at the same time. And so here my kobolds have an attack of 20. And if I were to frenzy them again, at least previously, if I played 2 more kobolds and put out another frenzy card, then these guys would get they would get re-frenzied, and they would have an attack of 30. Or actually, if I do this, 30, 40, an attack of 40. We fixed that now, so that the old kobolds still have an attack of 20. So they have not changed. But the new kobolds who came out and got frenzied have an attack of 40. And so that's now working as intended. This is another new map that we've put in. It's called 3-Player Desert Kingdoms, and it actually replaces the 3-Player Desert Hills map. It's just about the same size. But now we've got desert surrounding the outside where everybody has their castle, with an oasis in the middle where people can fight it out. And desert is one of the slowest tiles to move along, so this is an interesting map. Lots of battles occurring down here in the middle. And one of the other small changes we've made becomes very apparent with the sorceress, but applies to more than just her. The astute observational players will have noticed that if you play a card such as Glacial Shield on your sorceress, in the past, to accomplish this shield, she would have had a defense number of, I believe, 1,000 is what we kicked it up to. And the Glacial Shield provides 1 free hit. And so now the code actually respects what the card does, instead of us hacking it together with a fake defense number. Here's another new map. This is called the Colosseum, or the Tiny Colosseum actually, and it's just a tiny Colosseum. Another change we have that's very similar to the sorceress invulnerability, really we're calling it, is the fact that we were hacking no attack cards. So the Catapult Surge here is an interesting card where the catapult can move extra tiles but is not allowed to attack. And we hacked that together in the same way by basically setting the catapult's attack to 0, which doesn't really accomplish the same thing. If a catapult had attacked the sorceress, even though its attack was 0, and the sorceress had an invulnerability, she would have lost her invulnerability. So it wasn't really doing the right thing. And so what we've done now is made it so that the catapult actually does not attack. And so if I come and play a Catapult Surge card on my catapult, we'll see that he gets to move a whole bunch of tiles and doesn't attack. Alright, one more thing to show you guys. And here's another new map. This is called the Large Dueling Arena. It looks a lot like the Dueling Arena, but it's just been expanded quite a bit. And the biggest change we have for you this week is the revamp of the Pegasus. So, previously the Pegasus, he had a movement of 9, which is still shown on his card. We'll be updating that. He now has a movement of 6, and he used to have a trample 6 attack. And we've reduced that to a trample 3, which is actually less than the Knight. So, besides getting plus 10 attack, plus 10 defense and flying, what is cool about the Pegasus? Well, he has a trample 3 attack and a movement of 6, but he gets 3 actions per round. So now, instead of only being able to look for one long line, he can pinball around using the speed and agility of his flying horse. So here, he can only move so far. We only show how far he can move in one turn, or one action, but he gets 3 of them. And so he can make it all the way across the board. And the great thing about this is what he'll do when he has enemies that are spread out. So here he's got 2 enemies, and now 4 enemies, and none of them are in a line. However, you can go to the first one, nail it, move to the second one. Even if he doesn't hit, he can attack again. That's his 3rd action. So he got taken out there. So the Pegasus now has 3 actions, each one of those with a trample 3 attack. So that means he can move up to 6 tiles in between each attack. That makes him a vastly different minion, vastly more powerful and more agile and very, very cool and much more dangerous. All right, we hope you've enjoyed checking out the changes from Minion Master this week. We'll be having a new build with all of these in about a week from today. If you haven't pre-ordered the game yet, you can do so at minionmaster.com, and you'll get instant access to the alpha and every update along the way. All right, thanks a lot, guys. See you next week.